How's that looking over there? We'll see how this goes this time. Still not ready. Dang, lava lamp. I forgot to turn that on. Hold on a second. All right, y'all, what is up? Let me get this going down here. See how it's working. Well, what is up, everybody? Lucas Hernandez, you did miss it. I just got here. Gary Warrington, cracked a beard, ready for some crazy time. What is up, Dave R? What's up, everybody? So, and anybody that's new here, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, I suppose. And yeah, we're going to hang out for a little while. I've got a little bit of mail here. Oh. A letter, a smaller package, and then this big package. I guess that doesn't matter. You can't, it's my P.O. box, and that's not a return address anyways, but this one actually showed up to my house. The post office box must not have been able to take it. It's heavy. Let's see if there's a weight on there. 19 pounds, but we'll get into that stuff in a little while. Did not turn my lava lamp on in time, so hopefully that starts up at some point, but yeah. We'll crack open a drink. I got a case of Quady in there, or we got ourselves a case of Takate. Y'all like them cervezas? Yeah, I'll take those. I didn't know where my slippers were at. Thank you, wife. Appreciate it. It's cold in our basement, y'all, and it was like 45 degrees today, so the weather has been crap. Yesterday it rained all day, but I did do some fishing. I went out fishing with the homie Kelvin, so that'll be the next video. We had a pretty successful day. Am I missing anything? E11 Bravo. Cheers, man. Thanks for the donation. Let me find a cooler. Koozie. We'll use this one. Wayne State College koozie. I don't know where this came from. It ain't mine. Brad Collender, great last few videos. I appreciate that, man. Kansas was fun. And honestly, there was like multiple other things on my list to go see down there. I just didn't have the time to do it. So I've got other spots to hit. We're going to definitely hit Kansas again because I do want to head south this year. And I've got some people, I've got somebody in Oklahoma I'd like to meet up with. I've got a few people in Texas I'd like to meet up with. So that'll probably happen at some point this year. So we'll make our way back through Kansas. But Nick's Random Adventures. Cheers, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Jacqueline, ready for the FJ Neighbors dog story? He's just got a giant dog. A giant dog. What is it? I think it's a bull mastiff. The thing is huge. Let's see. John Fuss, anywhere in Missouri? Yes, probably. I'm trying to line up a trip with the homie Greg to probably ride back down to the Ozarks. The last really long trip me and him took together was to the Ozarks, but that was like the summer before I broke my leg and started making videos after that. So, Hunter James, how did I get started in truck camping? You'd love to start it on your own. From like 2009-ish, 2010 to 2015, I was pretty much motorcycle camping. And then like my wife would go with me. She had her own motorcycle at the time, so we would do a little bit of riding. We do a little bit of camping here and there. And she got tired of sleeping in a tent. And honestly, I got tired of sleeping in a tent. So I've had that truck for 12 years or whatever. And that was like, we looked at a bunch of different campers, we looked at pop-ups, and honestly, I just don't have a desire to drag around a trailer all the time. So camper shell was like the obvious next choice. It got us out of a tent, off the ground, in hard-sided camper. You didn't have to worry about the weather or the rain or whatever, and it was all self-contained within the truck. And so that's what we did. I ordered that thing brand new and put it on there in 2015, and like as soon as we put it on there, we took off for 2 weeks and went and did some vacation. So yeah, I've been camping in there since 2015. I mean, there's nothing to it. Just find a topper and stick a mattress or a cot or whatever you want in there and just get after it. You'll figure out what you need after you do it a few times. I used to carry entirely too much stuff. And so I don't carry nearly as much stuff anymore. But sometimes it'd be nice to have some of those extra things, but sometimes it's nice to just not have all that and just be like, I don't know. Sometimes the more stuff you have, the more like overwhelming the camping experience seems to be. So keep it simple, man. You don't need much. My wife used to go camping with her friends in like high school and college, and they never had tents. They would just throw their sleeping bag on the ground and lay out there and stare at the stars and probably get a rough night's sleep. But it's all about enjoying the experience. So yeah, you don't need a ton of stuff. Just get out there and do it. That's all. I mean, that's about it. Have I missed anything? Rick, catch the last fish at Standing Bear. Are they draining it right now? I've only fished Standing Bear, I think, once, and it was for a fishing tournament. And there's probably a video of that. Was it last year or the year before? I did quite a few. There's a local tournament series, and I went out and fished with one of my buddies, and we came in first for one, and I didn't catch a single fish that time, but we got first place. I lost a good one, but we still caught first. Adrian Marie waiting for the lava lamp to heat up. It might take a little while. That's why I had the towel over the top of it. But Henry Linares, when you come to Texas, sometimes this summer for sure. Quady Longcast, any cool plans for fishing videos? Well, the next video will be a fishing video. It was really windy and it was raining, but we had luck. But the audio quality is not great because I had my GoPro, and normally I'll use, like, I have a foam thing that fits over the entire GoPro. I don't know what I did with it. I can't find it anywhere. So the audio is not great on that video. And somebody said, I noticed the comment on the last video that somebody's like, you need to get a dead cat on your mic. The camera's got a dead cat that I was using. It was just that windy out there that day. So sorry for the audio quality on the next video, y'all, but it is what it is. Some of it's not terrible, but Rebel 55, how tall am I? 6 foot. 6 foot even as far as I know. Tyler Wood Bushcraft, cheers, man. Thanks for the donation. Thomas DeVeen, do I like sushi? Love sushi. There's a couple of videos that I have where I eat sushi. I don't remember the name of the first one. I've never made it myself. This was all store-bought sushi, but there's a fairly recent one that came out right around Halloween, and I went and kind of found the grave of a local spree killer and spent the night in a parking lot, and I eat sushi in that video, so you can find that one. Kevin, have I ever camped in New Hampshire? No, I've never really been. I don't think I've been past Ohio as far as the Northeast area goes. So like really over there, just in the whole like Southeast is really just Florida that I've been to. I'd like to go to Canada. Mitchell, one of these days we'll get up there. somebody said to come to Alaska, and of course I'd want to drive that, so I'd have to go through Canada. I don't even have a passport, y'all, so I got to get a passport if I want to do that. So we'll see how that goes. Uh, I had a guy hit me up to possibly come out and fish with him in Idaho fishing camp. He does truck camping. I don't remember his channel name off the top of my head, but so that might happen. I might be going out that direction at some point. And he is a very good fisherman, very, very good fisherman. So he could definitely put me on some solid fish, like maybe giant sturgeon even. So we'll see how that turns out. I keep going back to like, I need to get the dang spare tire mounted somehow on my truck. And it just, I don't know. The bummer part is nobody makes anything for my truck. I really don't want to like stick something in the hitch mount. I know they make hitch mount swing outs and stuff like that. I have no desire to do that. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do a bumper, because even the hitch mount tire carriers that swing out and all that, like they're $1,000 or more. Like I'm not paying that for a bumper hitch, tire carrier. But I don't know. I need to do that. Like if I get that on, like I would feel much more confident just hauling ass to the coast, or like doing something like that. Like last year when I went to California, it was really stupid of me to drive that far and not have a spare tire. I do carry a plug kit in the truck, but I did not have a spare tire with me, so that was kind of stupid. But Trent Schaefer, ever been approached by wildlife? Just some. There's been deer that have walked close to camp. I've had some free range cats come up fairly close to camp, but that's really it. Other than geese, there's geese everywhere around here, but nothing crazy. Like at least on video, nothing crazy. There's a park here where sometimes they have issues with skunks, but I've never seen them there, and I've camped there quite a few times. And then to get back on the subject of motorcycle camping, I think that might have been the last trip my wife went with me motorcycle camping. No, that wasn't the last one. But anyways, we were at our tent in the middle of the night, dude, and there was raccoons everywhere. Like they were scratching on the tent, dude. They were everywhere. It was super weird. It was kind of freaky, but I just ignored it. Like you could tell they were small animals. They weren't gonna do anything. So Camping Man Mouse vid was awesome. Yeah, I'm glad I got that guy out. Tyler Wood Bushcraft. Come to your new lakefront property. You don't need to catch. You don't even need to throw your fishing pole out to catch fish. 5 pond crappie and bass for days. I might have to make it down there, man. Allison, can you explain your reason behind limiting how tall you make your truck with the accessories you put on top and what your limit is? I don't have a limit, so to speak. I mean, the taller it is, the more top heavy it's going to be. My truck is already lifted. Plus it has like an 1.5-inch body lift on it. So it is already top heavy on the squishy 1/2-ton suspension. But like, I don't necessarily have a limit. I just prefer to keep it low. Also for drag and airflow or whatever, the mileage is terrible. And the more stuff you stack on top, the worse the mileage is going to get. But like, I don't have any problem fitting under anything. I don't remember the height of it off the top of my head at this point, but like I can go through all the drive-throughs and like everything like that, but I don't have a limit. I just would prefer to not have it super tall. Like if I wasn't as worried about it, or maybe if my truck wasn't lifted, I'd probably just throw the tire on the roof, my spare tire. But that's also a lot of weight up there. Jody Mitchell, ever any supernatural or spooky experiences? No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, there's been some sounds in the woods that are somewhat spooky. Like you hear something that's clearly walking around out there and it sounds relatively close, and you shine your flashlight, you don't see any eyes, you don't see anything. So that can be a little unnerving, because then you take the flashlight off and it'll start moving around again. Like most of the time if you hear that, you can shine them or whatever and you can see the reflection of your eyes. The last camping video, um, where I was at, and I said in the video that there's something walking around in the trees over there. I couldn't see it, but then not too much later, on the opposite side, there was something walking around, and I shined it, and there was two raccoons out there, but it's so dark or whatever. Like even with the flashlight, like I would never have been able to get it on video, so that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, you could clearly see their eyes. You know, they look at you, they'd stop, and then they'd put their head down, and they'd hide until you shut the flashlight off, and then you turn the flashlight off, and you wait a second, and they'll start moving around again. You can shine them again, but uh, nothing like super crazy along the lines of supernatural or scary, you know. Oh, Steve Wilkin, the Silo vid. Yeah, that was kind of freaky. Just the noises that was making. I don't know. I'm still somewhat convinced Dave had put a speaker in there, but I don't know. Somebody else said that they have that at their farm, or they've been on farms where that happens. Like if the wind hits those things at a certain speed or direction, like it'll resonate, and then the whole thing just basically acts like a speaker because it's vibrating. So that's probably what it was. But Rubwood out, Rosie, Judge Reinhold, man, I've heard that quite a few times. That's awesome. Uh, he's pretty old now though. Rebel 55, I should do a collab with Matt. I'd love to. I should maybe actually try to hit him up. But you know, small fish in a big pond out there. So we'll see. You know. Bucks fan 541. Would you rather camp in Cold War warm weather? Each has its advantages. It's much easier to prepare to be warm if you're camping in the cold than it is to try to cool off if it's really hot outside. So if it was like one or the other, probably cooler weather because you can always put more clothes on or, you know, stay inside or whatever. But if it's really hot out, sometimes, man, it's just miserable. Rick, ever thought of bringing a dog on your trips? Yes. One of these days I'll get another dog. I would really like to, but like, uh, I'm not necessarily one for like seeking that out. I guess the last one just really, it was like kind of fell into my lap. The dog had to leave this residence, and it was it was an old dog. It had some medical issues. Like it was going to be hard for them to get rid of it. And more than likely, had I not taken that dog, it probably would have got put down. And we had him for like 4 or 5 more years he lived. So I'd rather wait for more of a situation like that, like where it's necessary to have it happen, and give a dog a life that it deserves, instead of something bad happening at that point. I don't know. James, do I plan on a summer trip with my buddies? If you're talking about like the South Dakota trips that I went on with all those homies, probably. I don't know. I'll be getting out with more people this year. I was talking to Dave a little bit today. He was up at his cabin today, uh, so maybe we'll get back together with Dave shortly. So a lot of people like, and I get questions all the time, like, what's your next trip or what's your plans? Like, dude, I don't plan anything like that. It's just maybe it's the day before or something, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go camping, and I'm just looking around on Google Maps, like, which way should I go? I look at the weather, where's the weather doing in what spots, which way is the wind blowing, so I'm not driving into a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Like that's, kind of go whichever way the wind blows or whatever. So I rarely plan things, which is probably not good either. Uh, the almighty MJ, ever plan on adding fishing in the new videos? Yeah. I wanted to fish in Kansas, but like when I'm on those quick trips, I hate to buy a fishing license in a different state and then fish for an hour and just waste 30, $40 or whatever. So unless I'm like, if I'm out of state, unless I'm planning on it being a fishing trip, I probably won't do it, just because of the cost. But the next video is a fishing video. There's no camping involved, but yeah, there'll be more fishing stuff. I'll do some catch and cooks this summer. Definitely get the boat back out. So Amanda Altman, how do you convince your husband to be as cool as my wife with the Trump camping and all that stuff? I don't know. Like my wife's just cool about it. Uh, I don't know. Just do your thing. Take him with you. And if he's miserable, be like, well, you can go home. I'm chilling. Yeah, I don't know. Jacqueline, my favorite hot sauce. I don't have a specific favorite. I like pretty much anything. I used some of the zombie. Is it zombie snot? I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It was sent in during the last live stream. I used some of that tonight. My wife made some white cheddar mac and cheese with tuna in it, and I put it on the top of there, and it was much, much spicier.
Tell Jessica I said hi. She's watching you.
Oh, Jess says hi. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I've definitely thought about coming back up to your area outside of the rally, so it's not such a cluster up there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get up there and see you guys. I don't remember what I was talking about. Holly Andreas, do I like hot ketchup? I've never had hot ketchup. Is that just hot sauce and ketchup? Jess PT1. Cheers, Jess. Michael, you love the Chili Mac Grande burrito. I think it was good. It was very good. All right, let's open a piece of mail. So this looks like this is from Karen in Washington. Richard Snodgrass, Sioux City. I am definitely going to make it up to Sioux City. I've got something really cool to show you guys, and you'll get to meet my dad whenever I go up there and do that. But we'll see. We've got a big family thing coming up. My brother's getting married at the end of the month, so I got to be in a wedding and wear dress clothes. Probably talk to strangers. What's this? Don't know what this is. Oh, some stickers. Something else. We got a sticker here that says, "Life is better with the beer and a campfire. Ain't that the truth?" We'll slap that on the cooler for sure. We can do it right now. I've got the cooler sitting right there. Let's see what this is. I don't want to. I really enjoy your channel, but your ice chest seems to be missing a decal, and the inside needs more Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. Yes, I love the iced coffee. Hope you like the decal, and I hope this is enough to get a few of your favorite Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Keep up the great work, Karen. We've got a little cash donation in here. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and just slap this sticker on there. See if we can do it this way, over under here, without breaking anything. Shove it right over down here. Try not to spill, try not to break anything. Richard Snodgrass, thanks for the donation. Everything down here. Almost lost the C. Oh no. Oh no, don't break. I kind of screwed this one up, y'all.
They're telling you not to F it up.
I got her on there. There we go. Appreciate it, Karen. Thank you for that. Okay. Where are we at down here? Let me put this back down. Okay. Did I miss anything? Steven Drivick. Cheers, man. Thanks for the donation. Michael Thomas said he loved your setup in the garage with all the plates. Yeah. I love old license plates. Or just old junk in general. Quinn, I'm having a Quady, which I could actually have a second one at this point. Jeff Heaslip, Morel mushroom. I looked in the last video. I actually walked around for about an hour looking around down there. But I feel like it would have been better on the other side of the creek where I was out of the lake on the big hill because it gets less sun. But it's also been really cold. Like I kind of feel like we're having a little bit of an odd spring. I don't know. We had, I think today half the state got snow. So it's May, yeah, and we got snow. Project Grey Goose. You tried camping solo and came back and all the house locks were changed. No, I don't have that problem. My wife's sitting over there laughing at me. Tim M drinking Nooners. You must be on the other side of the planet. Crack open another one of those. I haven't had Quady in a long time. I definitely want to get into some motorcycle camping this year, really soon here. But once again, the weather has kind of been crap, like, you know, down back into the 30s and stuff overnight. And for motorcycle camping, my overnight cutoff has always kind of been 40 degrees. Or you just really have to bring too much gear and junk with you on a bike to try to stay warm. The almighty MJ, hammock camping. Yes, we're going to do that too. I mentioned it, I think, in another live stream. Dude, I've had a hammock that I bought it was last year sometime. It's a cheap hammock, but it's got like the integrated mosquito net and stuff on top. Still brand new. I haven't even taken the tags off the packaging. I just have not used it yet. John Fuss, what's the red tattoo on the back of your arm in the tricep region? Looks really clean and always has me wondering. It's a Great Northern Railway tattoo for locomotive number 1355, which is in Sioux City, Iowa. And we have not gone to visit that yet, but we will at some point. My dad has spent, 20, 25 years helping restore it. They could never get it back into actual running steam because of the cost of it. But it has a full-on visual restoration. And he knows what he's talking about. My dad will go up there and he puts on the conductor suits and he'll sit up in the train engine and he can tell you what everything is. He gives the people tours and stuff like that. So we'll get up there and see that at some point. But yeah, it's the Great Northern Railway sign. It's their goat. So yeah, we'll get up there and do that at some point this year. Burn a Bugatti, any crazy recipes coming up? I've got a couple in mind that I'd like to do. One of them I would have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so maybe that's what I need to try next. And we'll give it a shot. Most of the time, I really have no idea what I'm doing. Unless I'm just slopping a tortilla. I'm pretty good at that. So, Project Grey Goose. Cheers, man. Thanks for the donation. Bruto Bugatti. Yeah, that is the best part. Trying something new, not getting stuck into the same routines and the same recipes and things like that. And speaking of routines, like I've got some comments like, "Oh, it seems like your channel's more tours now instead of camping or whatever," and I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do different stuff. I'm not making the same video. I'm not gonna purposely make the same exact video of me just sitting in my truck over and over again. You know, who knows? A year from now, I might be sitting down here in the basement with a canvas painting like Bob Ross or something like that. Like,
God help us.
my wife said, "God help us all." But that's the thing. Like, channels grow, channels change, people do different things. Um, you know, if I went and bought a new truck, I'm sure people would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you bought a new truck," or something like that. It's just you can't have that viewpoint. So if you're watching a channel and the channel moves in a different direction and you don't like it, just go find somebody else. You don't need to comment on their channel that, "Oh my God, you're doing something different." Like, that's just not the appropriate way of going about it, let's say. Mike Cinema, any thoughts of trying out bushcrafting or backpacking? Yes. And with some spots that I found locally, like out in Iowa, when Gary showed me that campsite, um, spots like that, like you can, on that property, you can just walk in and camp anywhere you'd like. So I'd like to do some of stuff like that. My concern with that type of camping is that don't like to be out of visuals with my truck. Like, I wouldn't want to just leave it sitting in a random parking lot off of a gravel road in the middle of nowhere all night. So that kind of like makes me leery about doing that type of stuff. And then if I'm just off, 100 feet from my truck, like then I'm also like, what's the point of this? So I almost want to buy like just an absolute rust bucket beater to go drive to do some of that type of stuff. So if anything happens to it, I'm not particularly worried about it. But I don't know. We'll definitely get into some stuff like that, like some hike in or possibly bike in, like pedal bike. I've also been looking at some e-bike options to do some different content. So maybe we'll do something like that too. Curtis Joys. What's up, Brixton? Thanks for watching. The almighty MJ. VW bug with a roof rack. Yeah, that's possible. I spend far too much time on Facebook Marketplace looking at absolute trash and just like eyeballing it like it's gold. And many times I'll send my wife stuff like that. And I know it's bad when she just doesn't even respond. Just leaves me on read. Like, I'm not even going to give you an answer to that. But we were walking around the other day and looking at e-bikes, and she's like, she told me to get it, but I used my better judgment and did not buy it at the time. So fishing up a storm, e-bike fishing, yes. And the one I'm looking at would be pretty fun because it doesn't look like a regular bike. Connor, is this my full-time job? Yeah, man. I've actually been doing this full-time since I started. There's a video on the channel called Why I Started My YouTube Channel. It's pretty old, but you can check that one out. That kind of gives the story. Alan Pitkin, 65K beer chug. We'll shotgun one here shortly. Let me sip on this one. We might shotgun a beer for you guys. Amanda Altman, has a leg injury kept me from more active things to go along with your camping adventures? a little bit. It just gets sore a lot faster. Like after fishing with Kelvin yesterday, my knee hurt. And it's my busted knee that's got screws and stuff in it. And yeah, it just starts getting more sore. And I don't know, I'm just way more cautious of things because of what happened and how it was just like, and I'm laying there by myself with a broken leg, so maybe my maybe being so cautious has led me to not do as many of the stupid things as I used to do. But I don't know. Yeah, it does. I definitely get some pain and stuff from it, but it's nothing that's like gonna stop me from going on a hike. Helmet beer chug. Oh, yeah, I suppose I could put a helmet on. I guess I only have the one open face down here. I've got another open face. I'll probably grab the one from upstairs just because that one is so tight on my head. And the other one's got some cool stickers on it. Is the lava lamp going? It started. Quady Longcast, do you feel like your strictly camping videos do better than videos more focused on fishing? Literally anything does better than a fishing video, pretty much. I don't know. I mean, I'm not necessarily that great at fishing to start with, but in the YouTube game, like the fishing videos are everywhere. Camping videos are starting to become the same thing. But I don't know. Yeah, if I post just a regular fishing video, like it might get a quarter of the views of your average camping video. So, but that's all stuff that I can see in my analytics. That YouTube gives you a lot of really good information on what stuff works other than just your view count and things like that. Like I can tell you what gender, what age bracket typically watches my videos, like when they're online. Like they give you so much information to use to actually be somewhat successful on the platform. So Clay K22, cheers, man. I appreciate the donation. Cheers, amigo. Yes, I appreciate it. K22, is that a Honda Boy reference? I used to have an 09 Civic Si. Had a bunch of bolt-ons and stuff. Where are we at? Tony G, when's the next video coming out? I might put it out tomorrow, but it might be Thursday. I don't know. I could probably put it out tomorrow. Maybe I should try to upload every day this week. I guess consider this an upload since it's Tuesday. And we could probably get that done. I can't go crazy like old Cletus McFarland and or Whistling Diesel. I think they're both doing a month of mayhem with uploads every single day. I would love to do that, but I don't live in my truck, and that's the thing. Like, it takes a long time to film a camping video. Obviously, you're out for like 24 hours or whatever, so you can't film 3 videos in a day like some people can. Kenneth Lease, thank you for the donation. Oh, and you got an Iowa license plate coming my way. I'll definitely send you a Nebraska plate. Christopher, what YouTubers do I watch? I watch a lot of different ones. I shouted some of them out on the last live stream because I had it popped up on my TV out in the garage. But I watch a lot of guys. I watch a lot of local guys. I watch a lot of car channels. Watch graffiti channels. I watch all sorts of different crap. But Derek Graham, you've got a lower second gem Ram RT you really want to put a camper shell in. That would be cool. I had in 2001 Dakota RT. And that was a sweet truck. In fact, I still have, that's one of the videos from back in the day that I still have. I'd have to like upload it, but I used to have it on my channel. But it's super potato camera quality. And it's like 30 seconds of be pulling out a garage and then doing a really weak burnout, but I love that truck. It was all black. It actually had chrome RT wheels on it, and it was just regular cab. Dude, that truck was sweet. But I traded that thing in on a Civic, honestly, the Civic Si. Bonnie Moonin, if you sent me a Zippo lighter, would I get rid of the Bics? I couldn't do it. I love my Bic lighters, and actually, I have a couple of Zippos. I've got a giant one, and this is actually a mini one. I don't have a regular sized one, and neither of these have any fluid in them. I've actually never used this one. This was like a gag gift for a holiday thing, but it's a fully functional lighter. You know, it's got the wick and the base plate and whatever in the bottom. I used to carry this one all the time, but I just don't do it anymore. I like the Bics. They're simple. You don't smell it as much. Alan, you loved the Cypress Hill in the last video. Yeah, I didn't even realize I had that playing at the time. I don't know where I got the Zippo. It was a gift. It was like, was that for the Thanksgiving thing?
Probably.
I don't remember. We like sometimes at our family stuff for like holidays, my wife's family will play like, I don't even remember what the name of the game is. It's like a little card game or something. And everybody will bring like $5 stuff, and you just like put $5 things into a bag, and we all throw them in a big pile in the middle. And a lot of them are gag gifts or funny stuff or whatever. And we play this game, and everybody gets you get a bunch of stuff like that, just weird little things like that. There's probably a picture floating around of somewhere of me with a bra on. There was a funny bra given out in one of these, and I won it, so I put the bra on over my hoodie. And I mean, I could use a small one anyways, but Rebel 55, what song do I like most by Upchurch? I don't know. I listen to a lot of his stuff. The High Diaz album, that's pretty good. That's another thing. Like I don't have I couldn't say that I have like a specific favorite song from anyone or song in general or a movie or anything like that, because I don't know. I like a lot of stuff equally. Sean, do I have a ham license? I don't, but that would be cool to do. There's a local guy that I know watches the videos, and we're actually friends on Facebook now. And he's got ham stuff on his car and the ham plates and everything like that. So he could probably teach me a thing or two. Debbie, have I ever been to the archway around Kearney? I have not. But that's something like every single time I drive under that, I'm like, why haven't I ever stopped and looked at this? So that's something. We'll definitely get to that. John Fuss. Cheers, John. Thank you for the donation. John, I inspired you and your son to start camping. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys are getting out there. All right, let's move on to another package over here. So this is from Honeycut in Indiana. It's got some rattles to it. I don't know if I want to actually cut through that label. It almost looks like it might be an envelope. Let's see. That is an envelope. I don't know if there's anything in it. I'm gonna stab myself if I'm not careful. Not show you guys the address. Nothing in the envelope. We'll set that up there. Excuse me. James, do I like IPAs? They're not like, they're somewhat low on my list, but I'd say like stouts are probably the lowest on my list at this point. Used to love stouts, just not a fan of them anymore. But your average like just lager would probably be my favorite. We've got a French press and a note and a beer. What is this? Jack Daniel's coffee. So we've got a small little French press. We've got a can of triple jam, strawberry, blackberry, and raspberry hard cider. That looks really good. Wish it was cold. My wife said I might have to share it. My wife does not drink beer or really drink much in general, but get her on some ciders every once in a while. And we've got some Jack Daniels. We've got some Jack Daniels coffee. Jack Daniels. What was that? What is that from? What YouTube channel is that from? It's a food channel. Oh, I'm subscribed to the guy. And we've got a note here. All right. Hi, Quady. Hope this letter finds you well. My wife and I wanted to say how much we enjoy watching your adventures. We wanted to send you something you could use on your adventures. We hope we get to see you use them out on your adventures and you enjoy using them as much as we did sending them to you. Sincerely, Tim and Debbie. Thank you guys. Set that over here. It's a nice little French press. We'll give that a shot for sure. And I have never had Jack Daniel's coffee. Now it's going to bother me because I can't think of what that's off of. Epic Mealtime, yes. Great channel. I don't know if they still upload very regularly. I haven't watched that channel in a while, but I'm subscribed to the personal channel of that dude, and it's very sporadic uploads, but he's funny. Nicholas from Denmark. Cheers. Yeah, I'm curious about the Jack Daniel's coffee. And it's in a metal tin. So I've got a collectible. It's the first time I've got alcohol in the mail, isn't it? I think so. I'm excited to try that. I don't know if I put it in there if it would be cold enough in time. I'll drink this on the next video. Padeva Div Millar. Download Ozark and Animal Kingdom. Great series. I've watched Ozark. I think I kind of got they're on season 5 or something, I think is the last season. I kind of lost it after season 3. But the Animal Kingdom would be interesting to watch. I feel like I missed something. Some guy on this planet, if I get rid of the truck and get something else, what would you get? I don't know. I hope I'm never going to get rid of that truck. It'll just get parked in a weed line or parked in the tree line up at the farm and rust back into the earth while I get to watch it. But as far as something else goes, I go back and forth from a big giant 250 4-door 8-foot bed or go down to, I think the new Ford Maverick is pretty rad, but you're not getting a lot of ground clearance or suspension out of that. It does have a small bed, so you would have to put a pop-up if you're going to camp in the vehicle. I don't know. I really don't know what I'd get. I've always said to myself, and I said this a long time ago, when I was doing a lot more of the street racing and car stuff way back in the day, that one day I would own a true exotic car. And I don't know if I'm ever going to have enough money to buy a current exotic car, but there's some pretty cheap old stuff out there if you start looking around. So there's a Instagram called Brian's Questionable Decisions, and this dude is out there getting it in a vintage Ferrari, and he's got a little rack on the back of it, and I'm like, that dude's living the dream, you know. That dude's getting out there. He doesn't do much camping or anything like that. I think he sleeps in motels, but like he will run that thing down any road. He doesn't care, and that's the coolest part of it. So, you know, get like a C4 vet or something and just send it. That would be fun. You know what I mean? Bucket 1987 Cortez. Cheers. Thank you for the donation. Graham Anderson, you like the truck Dr. Hannah Strait has. Yeah, I think it's an F-250. It might be a 350, but I mean, ideally, like her rig with I think it's a four-wheel campers pop up on the back of it, if I remember right. Like, that's like the perfect ideal rig. Um, but then there's also in the YouTube world, Photo Omaha. Cheers. That's Dave, everybody. If you guys remember Dave, go follow him on that channel. Thanks for the donation. Where was I at with the truck stuff? Oh, the F-250 with like a four-wheel campers. That's like a perfect ideal setup, right? But there's on the other hand of the YouTube world, and you'll see this on some other channels where although these people could afford a very good, very usable setup, they buy weird stuff, and it's in the name of views, so it's like I have to make that decision also. Do I get something odd, funky, and weird that's not the greatest at what it's going to be doing, or do you just put your money into something that's perfect but is also this basic thing that thousands of other channels are doing the exact same thing? So you can't blame these people that are buying the quirky stuff to use just because they know it's going to get more views, because if that's what you're doing for a living, then obviously you need more views on your channel to continue to grow or whatever. So there is that like internal dilemma of which direction do you take with it. So I don't know. I have no idea what I'll get next. Like, for the longest time, I was just gonna I was gonna buy my next truck prior to doing YouTube or whatever like that, and doing these longer trips. I really wanted a regular cab F-250. I like regular cab trucks. I think they look better than any four-door truck out there, or even extended cab. Like, a truck should have a single cab and the largest bed possible. That's a truck. When you start getting into the giant cabs and tiny little beds, maybe you should have bought a Suburban or something like that, is always my thought. But I mean, people are welcome to like what they like. So Derek, have I ever been to Indiana? Yeah, but it's been a long time, not since I was a little kid. Rebel, I don't watch World Wrestling. I've never been into that. I had to watch it when I was younger because my brother watched it. And I remember like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, Randy Savage, and like the Ultimate Warrior. Like, that was the time that I watched it, way back in the day. Andre the Giant, the Undertaker, you know. Northwest Rivers Fishing, the White Elephant Gift Exchange. Yeah, but we play some weird game. I don't even remember how it's played. It's like some sort of bingo game. We play some kind of bingo with cards. And if you get bingo, you get to go grab something out of the pile. So I mean, that's an idea for some of y'all out there. If you can get your family to do it, just everybody brings a $5 gift or a couple $5 items and throw it in a pile and play a card game. And the winner of each hand gets to grab something out of the pile. We always had a separate adults pile and kids pile when we played it. Ray Perry, you're doing it right. Roger Dos Santos. No, I did not go to that Trump rally, but it was like 20 miles down the road, not even that far. Didn't not Not my cup of tea. I I'm not a political person. I don't give a shit about most of it, to be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never voted in my life, and I don't currently have a plan to do so. So, if anybody's out there wondering about my political affiliations, it's absolutely none. Don't care. I'm gonna do my thing. Syrian Davin, can you cook Irish stew? I've never heard of Irish stew, but I'll write that down and take a look at it.
Oh, we hate bugs.
One man shop. Cheers. Thanks for the donation. I'd love to meet up with Mav. And I think I've said it all. It's come up in every live stream. Maybe I should just hit the dude up. I know I get a lot of comments that people would like to see a video like that. I don't know if he gets the same comments or not, but I'd enjoy camping with him and eating some of his fancy cooking. Did I miss something about bugs?
Yeah.
We don't like bugs. Somebody asked something about bugs.
Okay, serious question. Bugs. Hate, tolerate, no worries.
I tolerate bugs. My wife hates them. If we're sitting outside, she's looking like she's having a seizure all night, unless we're around the fire, and then the fire's just blowing in her face the whole time, and she's getting up and moving. She has that talent of wherever she sits, the smoke will hit her. But yes, if we're sitting outside and there's bugs, my wife's just this all the time, and I give her crap for it, and she gets worked up, but I can't help it. Rail time. Do I have plans to do a meetup? Nothing set in stone as far as a meetup goes, but I will be attending Overland Expo Mountain West in Loveland. Is it Loveland, Colorado? I can look it up here.
Maybe.
Let me look that up quick. Yes. Oh, no, that's not the right. That's not the one. Mountain West, I think is what it's called, or Colorado. I will be there in the area for the entire event at Overland Expo Mountain West, which is in Loveland, Colorado, from August 26th to 28th. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law from California, if you guys remember the boat that I stayed on out there, the big ship, they'll be driving out. He bought a Gladiator, and he's got a rooftop tent and stuff on there, so they're supposed to be coming out. My wife will be camping with me, so I got to get the double setup in there or go buy a big tent or something so we're not both crammed in the back of the truck, because we'll have gear and junk, and I'd like to bring a bicycle, and I don't know, we'll see. But I will be at that event, so maybe I can get a seat in a booth. I don't do sponsorships really, like, so maybe if one of the local shops goes out to that event, maybe I can, put it out there that I'll be at their booth or something. Try to figure something out since I'm going to be there, that I can meet up with you guys. But that's an event that I will definitely be at. So if you guys see me there, say what's up. Brian, would I ever come to Cape Cod, Massachusetts? I would love to. That sounds like, that whole area sounds amazing. Derek, have I ever thought about getting an RV, getting a truck RV as far as like a slide in, possibly? I'd love to build something crazy. My big issue is I don't have anywhere to do it. Like my truck doesn't fit in my garage, So I would love to, build a camper on the back of a truck or build a flatbed camper or something like that. And there's a few things that I would have, I'd have to really kind of figure out what I'm doing, but I can build things. I'm pretty handy. I've got a lot of tools. I did work as a contractor for a while, metal worker, CNC programmer. Like, I'm capable of doing it. I just don't have the space, or I'd have nowhere to do it. So I've looked at renting a shop, honestly, for video stuff, so I could have a spot to do this type of stuff. And shops are just stupid expensive to rent. And there's a lot of places that don't like it if you're working on vehicles, because chemicals can be spilled on the ground and they don't want any part of that. So if they find out you're working on vehicles, they won't rent to you, period. So Keith, have I ever used the gas station sushi as bait for catfish? No, but that would probably work. You'd have to put it in like a stocking, or the little bait sacks or whatever that they make. I don't know what they're called. People just use stockings, but uh, it's not a bad idea to try. Helmet beer chug. Gosh dang. Will you go give me that gray helmet? The dirty one that you hate? She doesn't even want to touch it. My favorite helmet. Jim, do you include more bacon in your videos? It goes on everything. Yes, it does. Bacon's great on everything. Chicago Infinity World, all the shots. I don't like shots. But we'll chug a beer here. We'll get to a beer chug. And I'm curious of what this big package is. We're gonna get to this because it definitely has batteries in it. Lithium-ion batteries. But the outside doesn't really tell you what it is. But we'll wait. We'll wait for a little while. This thing isn't even running properly yet. We gotta wait for the lava lamp to work. Alan Pitkin, Mesa Falls. Idaho is high on my list of places to go this summer. Oh yeah, I forgot I had the thing on the front of it. This was one of my favorite helmets, guys. And it's super dirty and gross. But I love that sticker. You guys can see that. One of my favoriteest stickers I've ever had. I think it's just like, that explains half the internet right now. And then that, which is Forever Two Wheels Company, based out of Des Moines. You guys can find Forever Two Wheels Company on all the platforms, or like Facebook, Instagram. And if you're ever in the Des Moines area, definitely stop at Kung Fu Tap and Taco, which he is one of the partial owners of. We'll pop this guy off. Pop the space bubble off. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this helmet. It's sticky and gross.
It's one of those like soft touch.
Well, it's soft touch, but then I also remember that time me and Tripp rode through a rainstorm right after they oiled the roads. I was out riding motorcycles with my buddy, and around here the oil spray the asphalt or whatever every few years. The oil spray the roads, and it usually dries up, but it started pouring and the road was covered with this white foam, and we were soaked from head to toe, just greasy and gross and dirty by the time we got home. And it's like never come off of this thing. And I stopped wearing this one because it's super old, and an old helmet does not protect you like a new helmet would. But
I can't like clean it.
And you can't clean it off either. It's like a rubberized helmet. Well, I got chugging a beer with my space helmet on. Yeah, it's sticky. It's kind of gross. But this is one of those things that, like, I'm just never getting rid of them. When I'm old, I'll have a shelf somewhere with a bunch of helmets on, and they'll be super old, and I'll be like, yeah, that was cool, and I get to look at them every day, and that's all that matters. Cheers, everybody. I'll chug a beer for y'all. Shotgun a beer for everybody. Never shotgunned a Quady before. Let's do this. You want shotgun a beer? Have you ever shotgunned an alcohol? No. My wife's looking at me
Never
like,
shut
what did
down
I
anything.
what did I marry myself into over here?
You know, it takes me like 5 hours to drink a can of pop.
Yeah. Oh man, those are a little bit heavier than a Coors Light. Body mooted. You feel like you're on an episode of Stranger Things. It's definitely possible. Welcome to the Upside Down. I hope you enjoy your stay. All right, I got to get this off or my head's going to start sweating too, but let me put my space bubble back on. All right, enough of that. But hey, it's got a GoPro mount on it. All right. Oh man. That Tecate has, Jason, that Tecate has corners on it compared to a light beer. That's probably the best way to put it. It's a little spiky. Tim M, yeah, I rode with that. I've got another Spaceman helmet upstairs that's a little bit different. It's got a mouth guard, but then it's got like a thing on the front. Looks like the old school like Bell motocross helmets that were just like that, but had the solid mouthpiece across the front. Rocket Man. Yeah. Looking like Easy Rider, Curtis. My wife had the Easy Rider helmet with the flag on it. She rocked the hell out of it. I wish she sold her old helmet. I wish she wouldn't have sold it. But I could have used your sparkly helmet that's up there, I guess, to do that. That would have been a little bit more comical. Derek Ann, I drink Bud Light. Douglas Carter, what do you ride? I have a 2012 Harley Dyna FLD switchback. So it's the Dyna that had the hard bags. I put a fairing on it. And then I also have a 2012 Sportster that hasn't run in a few years, but I bought that thing in 6 months after buying it, and I cut it in half, and it's a rigid hardtail, all that stuff. And I have literally never showed it other than like transporting it somewhere else on the channel because it hasn't ran in a while. I haven't ridden that thing since before I broke my leg. It hasn't been plated since 2017. So it needs a little bit of maintenance. And that's going to be a project that we will be getting to shortly. And we'll definitely use that for some adventures this year. So have I ever rode a knucklehead? No, I have not. I've never ridden anything pre-Evo. My buddy had a shovel chopper that he was building, but I never saw that thing in rutting condition prior to him selling it. And then the homie Travis has got a nice shovel, but I think he just bought a knuckle. He's got a shovel and a knuckle, but I have not ridden them. I don't think those are bikes that I would ask to ride because they're really nice. But maybe when I get back up to see those guys at some point this year, maybe he'll let me take it for a scoot. We'll see. Glenn Tucker asked, do I have a pet name for my wife? Do I? Oh, do I? Don't get shy now. You'd be surprised the names that we call each other. It's not YouTube appropriate. We'll just say that. Mick, you got a 62 Nuck? Bam. Jim do I like riding bikes, the pedal kind? I do. I've got a pretty sweet cruiser, and there's actually a video of me and Moss going out fishing on our bicycles if you want to find that on the channel. I think it's called like creek fishing on our bicycles or bicycle fishing mission or something like that. Pretty sweet fat tire beach cruiser with some big old apes on it. I've got a really junky Schwinn mountain bike that I rode for a long time, and that's up at the farm. And it's not a bad bike by any means, but the frame size is too small for me. And honest to God, up until like a year or so ago, I didn't even realize, like with large mountain bikes or with adult mountain bikes, that you could get different frame sizes. So I need a larger frame. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the live stream. I've been looking at a bunch of different bikes, and I was just looking at like cheaper name brand bikes. Like, I don't know what it is, the Trek 662 or whatever their base model is. It doesn't seem bad, and it's, you know, it's a reasonable price for what it is, but I found some reasonably priced e-bikes. So I'm looking at an e-bike, but then there's also the little Honda's got a great line of mini motorcycles, and they're relatively decent price for what they are. If you look up the Honda Navi Navi, it's $1,800 for a brand new little mini motorcycle that's street legal and you can ride it anywhere, you know? So that's also high on the list. CB Shanks 133 e-bike, yeah, electric bicycle, like a pedal assist or something that's got a throttle button on it. So you can pedal it or you can hit the throttle and do 20 miles an hour, you know, without pedaling. The ones I'm looking at have the motors in the rear hub, you know. So something like that would be really fun too. Open the battery. Oh, yeah. I was like, did you send this thing? How do you know it's a battery? Yeah, it's a battery. We'll pop this thing open. So the box says heat cure. I don't know. It says from Quady, but it's from someplace corporate exchange. So I don't imagine that's the actual sender. We'll find out. Dane Boro, e-bikes are dope. They look fun, and I've never ridden one, so I would really like to, but after driving that Mustang Mach-E, although I don't know if I would personally purchase an electric vehicle yet, given the area of the country that I live in. If I lived in a city, I would have zero problem buying a nice electric car. They're very fun to drive. If you like flooring it from the stoplight everywhere you go. There's another box inside a box. I don't know if I should turn this over. Mick, you bet it's a head. I hope not. Well, we've got a box inside a box. Made in China. That's all it says. Jim G baitcast or spin cast. I have plenty of each. Baitcaster for larger, heavier baits that you can easily cast with a baitcaster. But like for crappie fishing or bluegill fishing or any small stuff like that, I use a spinner. Is there a box in a box? Is this a bunch of boxes? No, that's... Oh, it's another box in a box. What is this thing before I... You never know what it could be. I don't want to show it if it's something bad. I think it's something fine. Oh, it's a battery box. It's like it's a portable power station. And that is the actual brand of it, Heat Cure. Portable power station. There's no note or anything with it. just says it's from Kathy, but I feel like that's like not the right thing. But whoever sent in the power station, I appreciate that. Let's pop this thing open. It's heavy. Well, now I'm going to feel bad if I use this in the truck almost, because the power box that I use now was given to me.
Just switch them out.
It must be a charger. Edward, how far west did I go to camp? I drove all the way to California. I don't have those videos set up in a playlist, which I should. But I think the video that starts that trip is called Boondocking in a Walmart Parking Lot in Colorado. And then the last video of that trip would be Dan's huge Cadillac Escalade. But I drove all the way out to California. I did not camp. Well, I did sleep in somebody's driveway in California, Making Magic Fishing. Check him out. But I stayed with my brother-in-law on his ship. My brother-in-law has a giant ship out there. And we stayed there on the boat for a while. I drove out there for a graduation, but my wife flew out. She hung out while we were out there, but I drove there and back. So this is the battery charger. We'll see this actual thing, how big it is. It's heavy. John, have I ever camped in Minnesota? Yeah. I don't know if I have videos on the channel of me camping in Minnesota or not. I know I think everything like has been winter stuff, so we've stayed in hotels. There's a recent ice fishing video where we stayed in a fish house for 3 nights on the lake on Upper Red. Well, there we go, guys. We're gonna have to get this thing charged up. It's got a bunch of outlets over here, and it's got regular household outlets on the back. And honestly, this might be incredibly beneficial to me editing videos on the road. So yeah, that could be really awesome. I can't say I've ever heard of this brand before, so I really don't know anything about it. Does it even have juice to it? Probably not at this point. So you got a few USBs. You've got like a 12 volt. You've got some regular outlets back there. And it says battery capacity 604.8 watt hours, 28,000 milliamps at 21.6 volts. I'm not smart enough to know exactly what all of that means, but should be pretty nice. 600 watt max output. Yeah, we're going to give this a shot. Oh, and I can plug a solar panel right into this thing. So maybe I need to buy a little solar panel. Should we give you some ASMR here? Did I just break it right away? That wasn't very smooth. Well, Kathy, if it's actually Kathy that sent this, thank you, Kathy. But whoever sent this in, I appreciate it. We'll give it a shot. It looks nice. Oh, and there's like a digital display right in there. Does it turn on? Oh, there it goes. It's got a little charge to it. So you've got a little readout on the front there for AC or DC. And then I guess we have a light back here. Maybe, yeah. So you've got a little flashlight. Yeah, and I could run, I don't know, I might be able to run like a toaster or something off of this too. We'll see how this thing goes. Never had one like this. but it's a nice little size. It should fit right in where my other power box sits. So thank you for this. That's really nice. Okay. Excuse me, did I miss anything down here? Yeah, that's cool. It is heavy though. It's 20 pounds worth of battery right there. All right. Jason, it said 600 watts max. Yeah, we'll see how this works. I am curious if it will run my laptop. Because I did buy a nicer laptop a little while ago, and I'm sure it sucks a lot of juice. But yeah, heat cure. We'll give this guy a shot. It's neat that you can hook it up straight to a solar panel. I think it's just right there. DC in. So I'll have to take a look and see what kind of solar panel I can put on here, and maybe we'll get a video shortly of me installing a little solar panel on the roof of the truck. Yeah, Dylan, it'll charge the laptop. I just don't know how long or how many chargers I'll get on this thing. It's a Lenovo Legion gaming laptop. Quady, have you tried Heart Mountain Dew yet? No, I have not. I've actually been looking for it everywhere. I haven't been able to find it. And then, man, it's like hot down here all of a sudden. I don't know if it was the beer that did it to me or what, but I've been looking for that. I can't find it. Along with creek water, I'm just gonna have to order it. Two to four charges. Well, that'll be great, especially if I have a solar panel on the roof or something that's constantly charging this. I don't know. Maybe I won't actually mount it to the roof, but we'll see how we do it. Benjamin, you went to Hitchcock after watching the video with Dave. That's awesome. That's a really cool park. And that park is one of the parks where you can walk in and camp. So that would be a cool spot to do. Kentucky, do they have the new John Deere Bush cans where you're at? I don't know. I think they're like the Bass. They still have the Bass cans going on. Body booted, one last shot. Those damn garbage bandits in the canoe. Can we name them like Ed the Lava Lamp? And the Lava Lamp still isn't doing lava things appropriately. But your comment, I don't know if you're commenting, I don't think your one last shot is going to be what I'm thinking it is. One last shot was like the first video, first little movies. It was a short film, and it's basically a prelude to the Trailer Park Boys. And if anybody's been watching for a long time, they know I enjoy the Trailer Park Boys. We've got some videos with Trailer Park hot sauce. So if we want to do that, we'll call it, it's hard to say because there's only two. We'll do, I was going to say Ricky and Julian, but even better. We'll do Randy and Mr. Leahy. So this is Randy and this is Mr. Leahy. There we go. That's a tribute to the Trailer Park Boys and the short film that was a prelude to the series called One Last Shot. Yeah. I screwed the lava lamp up today, guys. I didn't start it but like a half an hour before the live stream because I'm dumb. Rick and Morty would have been fun too, but I like Randy, Bo Bandy, and Mr. Leahy, and the Randers. They're probably back there practicing for a play, if you know what I'm saying. Mammoth Cave in Kentucky. I'll have to write that one down. I feel like I've heard of that. Crazy Chris 7417. What's one place you would love to camp at that you haven't yet? I've spent time in Oregon, but I've never camped there. Oregon and Washington, I've never camped there. But I've done a few trips there. I've got family in the area, just never camped. I'd love to get up to like Maine. But that's all like just me thinking like a little bit closed-minded in the United States in general. Like I would love to go to Australia. I would love to go to Ireland. Just out of the country in general. I'd love to camp down in Mexico, like just all over the place. I don't think there's like one specific place. It's just those like far away destinations that are a little bit harder to get to, maybe would be my wants of to go do these things. Yes, I'm left-handed. Derek Graham, yes. I would love to camp out on the burnout pad at the Freedom Factory. If anybody knows Cletus personally, or Garrett, if anybody knows Garrett personally, man, that would be an epic video. I'd do a volunteer, like I do a volunteer for one of his vents and go scrub the toilets for a night, be able to camp out there for a night. That would be rad. I gotta take this hoodie off. I'm like sweating down here all of a sudden. Join the Navy. I think I'm too old, honest to God, to join the military at this point. They won't take me anyways, but I think I've aged out. You guys need any motorcycle parts in Lincoln, Nebraska, hit up Great Plains Cycle and Supply. Isle Royale Island in Lake Superior, that would be cool. One of the things, and I think I said it on the last live stream, one of the things on my list is to take the truck on a ferry. I haven't done that since I was a kid, and that truck's never been on a ferry. And I lost the comment. Lake Superior. I saw somebody said Alaska or Hawaii. Yes, I would love to go to both of those places. Hawaii is something that we wanted to do for a honeymoon, my wife and I. But when we got married, I had started a job like, I don't know, 3 to 6 months before that or something. And I couldn't take the time off to go on a proper honeymoon. We went to Des Moines and hung out in Des Moines, which was awesome. But we've never done the Hawaii. Like we've never done that extravagant like 2-week vacation like that. So that's definitely something I would love to do. Dylan, thank you for the donation. One day we'll meet up and slay some bass. Yeah, man. One of these days. Maine to Nova Scotia, that would be cool. Oh, I'm burping. What?
You skipped a donation.
Did I skip a donation? I'm over here talking. You should just stay down here and... Oh shit. That's the donation that
He messaged me.
Oh, damn it, Kelvin. Well, Kelvin's the homie. Kelvin and I went fishing yesterday. We slayed him. And hey, guess what? Means I have to chug a beer. That's the homie. I can't say no to him. I don't want to chug another one of these Tecate. Will you give me a Coors out of the fridge? Those have less corners, as somebody said. All right, Kelvin. He texted my wife. He's like, God damn it. Niagara Falls would be cool. And isn't there a hotel like on one side of it, kind of right on the edge, and you can watch it? That would be awesome. Helmet needed. Shoo. Put on the yellow helmet. It's orange, actually. Orange flake. I've actually done this with this helmet on. I restored this helmet. I found this at like a junk shop. And it's a 1996 Honda Stagline. But it was missing everything inside. So I just, like, I put padding and stuff in there and I sewed that stuff up and glued it in. But it's really small. Does not fit on my head. What a lot of guys will do when they find these vintage helmets is this still has the foam liner up top. You can kind of see that right there. And then it's got the padding in here that I put in. A lot of guys will just pull that foam liner out, put a bit of padding in there and run it that way. Obviously, it's not DOT, but a helmet this old anyways is not really going to be DOT approved. But I suppose I can stick this one on. It's really tight on my head. Yeah. One of those things like, I've never worn this. I'm never going to use it. But when I saw it and I saw how old it was, and, you know, the fact that I enjoy helmets of this shape or whatever, I was like, all right. I bought it. I think it was super cheap. And then I found somebody else online who had kind of done this. And then, no, actually, I think I used one of these helmets. I pulled all the padding out because these like your cheek pads and all your padding in these helmets, if you're not a motorcycle rider, they button in and they pop out. So you can change these out. Because sometimes on different helmets, these will be slightly different thicknesses or sizes. So if you have fat cheeks, you can get a small cheek pad or whatever. Or if you sweat a lot in your helmet, you can change them out instead of just washing them. And I think what I did was I pulled all them all out and I traced them out and then cut foam and put the plaid over it. Let's see if I can get it on my head again. It's super tight. And it doesn't sit down very, very low. That helmet sits much lower on my head. Oh, it's super tight on my dome. Uncomfortably tight. All right, Kelvin. Helmet shotguns for $65K. And I can already feel the blood like being cut off to my braid with this thing on. All right. So I'm gonna have to write that place down. Cheers, everybody. Don't laugh at me over there.
Did you see the donation from Dylan Edwards?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
It was
there
after
another?
Calvin.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yep, I saw that one. Oh man. Hugo e-bike. Ed, I'll write that down and look at that. I've been looking at the Super 73s. The cheap one, the Z1, I think it is, which I can go to the store here locally and buy if I wanted one. That thing is so tight. Oh, it hurts my forehead. It's so tight. Oh man, yeah, that's hard to wear. And now I got the burps. Brock, I love you too, man.
Dave says he'll stay one more day at the cabin if you want to head up in the morning.
Oh, did I miss that?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that? Photo, Omaha. You'll stay one more day at the cabin if you want to head up here in the morning. Deal. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, guys, I guess the next camping, or maybe it'll be a cabin video. I don't know. Maybe we'll go camp somewhere up there. I'm gonna go see Dave. So
Take his Tupperware back.
take his Tupperware back, my wife says. Yeah, I'll hit you up or message me or whatever. I'm using my phone for the live, so shoot me a message. Deal. Give her a ring. Jason, what's my next super far location? I don't know.
Mars.
Mars? Shoo! I saw some story today that somebody says there's going to be a space hotel opened up by 2025. Like, I'll go take out a loan to get a ticket for that. I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing, you know. I'd go into debt for a trip like that if it would materialize. Like, that's a lifetime experience, an experience most people will never have. So that would be an amazing thing to go into space. But super far trip, I don't know. I want to get down to Texas. Like, I want to get to Mexico. Like, there's so many places I want to go this year. Um, and different styles of trips, not just in the truck. Like, there's so much shit I want to do, to be blunt, that I don't know. Some of the truck stuff, which is why I don't go out very long. It's hard to edit on the road with the power box that I have. Like, it wasn't super suited for what I needed to do editing. This might help that, but uh, either than that, I would have to get a hotel every few days or whatever, and that adds up if you're on a long trip. What? Uploading is also very hard, but that's also dependent upon video length. Gosh, that not the last video, but the video of the mill and museum tour. Um, Man, I was freaking out that night because I was trying to get the video out that day, and I put it out at like 8 or 9 or something. It was super late. It took like 4 hours to upload. And I was kind of losing my shit over it. I was getting really frustrated with it. And I have good internet. Not like I don't have fiber or anything here, but uploading longer videos on the road is hard. And that's why a lot of the guys you see, it's 12 to 20 minutes at best, because those goes pretty quickly. So we'll see. Derek, and did you ever think I would be a YouTuber? Not in my life. Um, Not in my life as far as like doing it for a living. I've said it before in live streams, and I'm kicking myself in the ass for it every day. I used to have a ton of car videos and stuff up, and this channel was monetized back in like 2008, something like that. Let me see if I can pull that up actually, and see when it was. Over a lifetime. It might not go back far enough. Let's see. The first. Oh no, it goes way back here. The first day that I made, that can't be right. They must not have had it. And there's a lot of stuff like their analytics or like their record keeping wasn't great. But let's see, in July of 2010, July 8th of 2010, I made 0.002 cents that day. But I used to have a ton of like stuff on here, and that was back when YouTube would email you and be like, we'd like you to be part of this program. There was no standard of you had to have 1,000 subscribers. And you know, I joined a long time ago, basically at the start of YouTube, and I would just put random, just like car exhaust clips, or the best video that I had on the channel was a video of a subwoofer that I had in that Dakota RT that I had. You know, and it did well, and like, but I didn't upload regularly at all. It was like I'd upload a video, and then 3 months later I'd upload a video or whatever. So that doesn't work in the grand scheme of things. This is what you're trying to do. So it was like making 39 cents a day or something like that off the channel. And then I deleted everything in like 2015, 2014 or something like that. I deleted all those videos and I don't have them. They're not saved anywhere. So that's kind of a bummer. So I wish I had those old videos, but Makami22, cheers. I appreciate that comment. You don't need any politics. Like, politics on this channel is not what, if that's what you're looking for, I'm not the one that you want to watch. Super duper. Do I make enough money on YouTube to support the fam? Well, it's just my wife and I, and she's got a great job. We make enough money that we can support ourselves and each other, kind of thing. So, YouTube is. Oh, did I miss a super chat? YouTube is good, man. But YouTube is one of those things that it could be gone tomorrow, and like her job's not gonna go away or whatever, or it's a little different scenario. Chicago Infinity, man. Cheers. Thank you for the donation. Taking the boat out, boat or kayak video soon. One or the other. I need to get the boat running. I have not tried to start it since the last time I was in South Dakota for the trip with the boys. It hasn't ran since then. I am a terrible boat owner. But we'll get something out. I wonder if, I doubt Dave's got his pontoon up there yet. Dave, if you got your pontoon, or you need me to, Dave, do you need me to pull your pontoon boat up to South Dakota tomorrow? I mean, I could do that too. But we'll get out and do some of that. But yeah, as far as like making money on YouTube, there's no set level. Some months are higher than others. But as after expenses for gas, fuel, all this other stuff, insurance, etc., I am making a little bit of money after that. So yeah, it's going well, and it's all because of you guys out there watching the channels. And I run absolutely minimal ads. Beginning of the video, at the end of the video, or where my ads are placed, there's nothing in the middle, and most people probably don't see the ads at the end of the video. So I'm just getting that cut from the very beginning, where most, I don't want to say most, a lot of people, it's like you get the ad at the beginning of the video. They start the video 2 minutes in, welcome to our sponsor. And then 2 minutes after that, there's another ad. Wait another 5 minutes, and there's another ad. They're making a lot more money off of that type of content. But I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to put breaks in the content. Like, I hate watching commercials. I say it all the time, so I don't want to do that. And some people have asked, well, here's another topic that we'll get into. Some people have asked if I would do something like a Patreon. And I've been emailed by Patreon to ask me to join their platform. I don't want to necessarily do that either. As far as making paid content, like I want the content to be free for everybody. But I've considered doing the whole, like on YouTube, they do the join thing, where it's more of like you get a little badge next to your name if you were to comment something, if you join the thing, which I don't know if you can even set the amount, $1 or whatever a month or something like that, to be a member of the channel. And then you get a thing next to your name when you comment. If I did that, that's all I would do, and that I would make sure that I respond to those comments, because sometimes the comments are a little bit overwhelming. But I don't want to ever get it to the point where like people are paying for private live streams or private content that everybody else isn't getting. I want this channel to be available for everybody, so everybody can enjoy it. Like, I ain't trying to be some HBO or something like that where you have to pay for content. Like, it should just be for everybody. But Chicago, yeah, the join button and Patreon are almost the same thing, but it's just easier to do it on YouTube instead of having to set up another account and do it that way. But is what it is. I don't know. Maybe I'll set that up and set it really low, so if somebody wanted to support the channel monthly in that capacity, they could do so. But I don't have ever plans of making paid content. Like, I want it to be out there for everyone to see. So Derek, crazy Quady's not a cam girl. Somebody, I've had 2 or 3 people ask me to join OnlyFans or tell me that I should create an OnlyFans account. And the reality of it is that's the same thing as like Patreon or whatever. It's not just like most people simply associate it with pornography to be nice about it, but it's the same thing as Patreon. You can put whatever you want on there. It's just, it's viewer based supported content or subscriber based content, monetary subscribed content. So I don't have any plans to do that. If anything, it'll be a join button, and it'll probably, I don't know if I'll ever get to it or whatever, but big man. Cheers, big man. Thanks for the donation. Sauce Boss. The Sauce Boss. With the Jack Daniels. I wouldn't mind meeting that dude. Kenneth, cheers. I'll show that. You cussed in your comments, so YouTube hit it. But I'll show it. Good shit. Edward, fastest speed I've ever gone in my truck? I don't know. I think, well, from the factory, I think that truck is governed at like 99. And I'm sure the governor's turned off with the tune. So probably somewhere in that general area, the issue you have to worry about with those trucks is the drive shaft will explode at high speeds. They're not designed to spin that fast. So is what it is. Probably in the 100-ish range. McCamey 22 trash can burritos. Burritos of many names. 130 to 21 Chevy. Well, maybe super duper. Maybe the drive shafts have gotten a little bit better, but that's more of typically why they limit them, is like the drive shafts or the brakes or stuff on these types of vehicles are not made to support 120 mile an hour runs. But we got that Dakota up to pretty fast when I had it. And the Evo, we got the Evo up to 130. I used to have a 2010 Evo, and I think the fastest that I did in that was 130. And I've got this here. Here's another trinket of collectibles that I have. I had an Evo like that. Mine was white, though. It wasn't all funky, but I had that car in real life. Although that's in 2008, I had a 2010. Oh, and I'm not gonna live with that. What time it is? It's getting pretty late. All right. Is tomorrow Cinco de Mayo? Well, it's probably the 4th we're at CB Shanks. It's still the 3rd here, so not quite Cinco de Mayo, but we're getting close. Chicago Infinity? Who makes the Evo? It was a Mitsubishi, and they killed it because Mitsubishi is a terrible car company and they have no idea what they're doing, it seems like. But yeah, it was the Evolution. And I had a 10. The first Evo that was available in the US was an 8. They did the 8, the 9, and 10, and sold those in the US, and then they killed it off. But like the Evo 6s and 7s or whatever from overseas that were available, overseas in like UK and JDM markets and stuff like that, those are super collectible. They're all-wheel drive. Mine was all-wheel drive, turbo, 4-cylinder, 6-speed, 4 doors. Like, they are sweet cars, fun to drive. But Kenneth, cheers. $10 penalty for the cuss. Yeah, YouTube automatically will hide your comments, guys, if you cuss in the comments. Or I think there's other keywords that they have on file that if you guys say that kind of stuff, like, it's just automatically hidden. But cheers. Thank you for the donation. Vonnie Moon and Fiat 500 a bar. That would be a fun car to drive. Like, I've got nothing against those little stuff. Yes, the Amish electrician, that was definitely hidden. I'm not going to post that one, but Makami 22, how did I build that bed frame over the wheel well? There is a video on the channel called, I think it's just called How I Built My Truck Camper Bed, How I Built My Bed. It's me like laying down all pretty on my bed, and the back of the truck is the thumbnail. It's really simple, man. Just fits over the wheel well. 2x2s, 1x4s, and a little bit of thin plywood. But there's a video on the channel. You just have to scroll through and look for it. It might be in the DIY playlist. But Brock, you had an Evo MR? Yeah, mine was a GSR. I had the 6-speed. I did get accused once of it being an automatic when we were out on the ice cream cruise, because I can drive a stick shift like a motherfucker. I'll tell you guys that. I'll toot my own horn on that one. I can bang gears. I really miss having a manual transmission, but yeah. Yeah, Tyler Wood, smash that like button. Everybody out there, if you're watching the videos on a regular basis, please hit the like button. Even if you're watching it on an app, you can still like the video. If you're watching it on Roku TV or something like that, that really helps out a lot. And they don't ask for it in the videos. They don't, hit like and subscribe and comment or whatever, but definitely like the videos. That helps a lot in the algorithm. I think on that note, we'll go ahead and close this one out. It's been almost 2 hours and I gotta pee. And I want to get this thing charged and start looking at the interwebs for a solar panel. And maybe what we'll do is we'll use the Amazon gift card that was sent in a little while ago, and I have not found something specific to use that on yet. And we will use that Amazon gift card towards a solar panel. And the $500 donation from the last live stream, I feel bad about that, almost like I don't know what to spend it on, but it needs to be something specifically for a video or for the greater good of the channel, I guess. But yeah, I think I'm going to close it out here, guys. I appreciate everybody watching. Anybody that's new to the channel, I appreciate the support. And we're shooting for the moon here, guys. So tell your friends. And yeah, I love y'all. It's been a wild journey. And to think that we've made it here is just like, I really don't know what to say about it. My wife jokes with me. She's like, "You're internet famous." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. I'm not." They're like, "Don't call me famous."
I said that because people know you.
Yeah.
When they see you.
Yeah. That whole thing seems weird to me. But anyways, guys, I love y'all. Thanks to everybody that sent things in tonight. And the sticker on the cooler. Oh! Life is always better with the beer and a campfire. And the donations and the drink. We'll get to this drink in the next video. And you guys will get to see Dave. Well, not in the next video. Next video is a fishing video. It's already been filmed. But next camping video or whatever I'm going to end up doing with Dave, we'll crack this guy open. So cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for 65,000. And you guys are all awesome. That's all there is to it. You guys rock. And I'll see you guys on the next adventure. And it just started working. I can't even stop it because the dang fold holders is covering it up. Oh, here we go. Okay.